Hey there humans, Bob here with the Marvel Avengers update. In today's video we go over the new perks that were announced in today's blog. And I won't lie, they're pretty awesome. Before we get going with this one though, don't forget to drop a like, it massively helps to get more eyes on the video, and it's completely free. Alright, now that's over with, let's get on with the video. Right, to help go over these changes, I've prepared the following infographics based on information that we've been given directly from Crystal Dynamics. Big thanks to them for letting us share this with you today. Okay, let's jump in. Right, let's start with Captain America first. Basically what the team over at Crystal have done is started to focus on perks that are more focused on heroics, intrinsic actions, or defensive enhancements. So let's go over those ones now. First one starting with the Aegis of the Nomad piece, which is a piece that drops in the Elite Heroic Hive Gauntlet, or Last Avenger Standing, as many as you might know, LAS. Basically what they've done is replace the generic parry and Jarvis perks with Brawler's Vigor and Commander's Call Bullock. Brawler's Vigor basically increases Brooklyn's Brawler duration, which is great. Commander's Call Bullock increases defense whilst Commander's Call is active. So again, these are actually very specific to Cap, so they're more specific and focused on him rather than just across the board, which is great because we want to see more of this in the game where it kind of makes each character's gear more in tune to them, which is great news. I'm really excited to see more stuff like this. On to the next piece though, Rampart of the Nomad, again dropping from the Elite Heroic Hive Gauntlet. They've replaced the generic regen perk with Defender's Retaliation, which gains shield block energy when you're taking damage. Again, really cool that this is more focused on Cap, but essentially I believe this one still kind of counts as intrinsic when taking damage, but this might just be if you gain damage you immediately get that block energy back rather than a percentage, but we'll have to see when that actually drops in game. Onto Iron Gloves of the Super Soldier. They've replaced the Jarvis perks with Brooklyn Brawler Amplifier, which basically increases status build-up while Brooklyn Brawler is active, which personally for me I think is fantastic because that means now we can start to really hit those battery effects a lot harder and a lot quicker with Cap, which is great news. Very excited about that one, especially because it drops from priority missions, which makes it a lot easier to obtain compared to the other two pieces. On to Hulk now. They've removed the Jarvis and generic perks for heroic specific or gamma related perks. This is really cool. I think this is awesome. The fact that they're focusing on having Hulk get benefits from gamma related things is really cool, and it makes so much more sense than just having generic stuff on there. Again, getting rid of Jarvis barrier stuff and getting rid of Jarvis perks, I don't have an issue. That sound effect, I'm happy to see that go. But yeah, I'm excited to see them create these perks that are more tailored, more focused on the character, because then you're just going to get more diverse builds, more interesting builds, ones that you really have to delve into how the character works to take advantage of it. So I'm excited. We start off with Worldbreaker's Alloy. They've replaced the Jarvis perks with Gamma Lethal Spark, which grants a high chance to regen heroics when defeating enemies with an active gamma status effect. Personally, I think this is really cool because this kind of focuses on the heroics. Basically, Hulk can have two different specializations in his skill tree that can enable gamma-related status effects on enemies when you use the heroics. Again, you have to specifically enable those, but you can utilize those to then basically create this heroic cycle by hitting people and causing the gamma status effect and killing them, and knocking them out. We don't say killing them, knocking them out. But basically, every time you defeat one of these enemies that is affected by gamma status effect, it will give you more heroics, which again gives you more opportunity to be able to hit them again with more gamma and more heroics. So I'm excited to see this. This actually feeds into my main Hulk build quite nicely. So I'm excited to see how effective that is. So I'll be looking for that one. That one drops on the Elite Heroic Hive Gauntlet as well. Actually, all of these pieces do. Including Worldbreaker's Neuronics. Basically, they've replaced all perks with Unstoppable Rage, Cannonball Breaker, and Monster's Barrage. Unstoppable Rage basically increases impact whilst Rage is active. Cannonball Breaker increases small rock damage. This is for those crazy people who want to do Hulk ranged builds. if you really want to, you do it if you really want to do it. Don't let me judge you. Monsters Barrage, though, is super interesting. Apparently, it's going to grant 40% more damage to all combo enders. So basically, all this says combo enders, and that's the language that we've been given. Essentially, it's combo finishers, the same thing. So basically, go through a full light attack like combo, and the end hit will hit 40% harder, which I think is really cool. Again, this one drops on the Elite Heroic Hive Gauntlet. I'm very interested to see how this will work. I'm hoping this also applies to heavy combo finishers, or if there's like two versions of this where it's like one is light and one is heavy. We'll find out again when these start to drop in game. Moving on to the next one, and the last one for Hulk, Worldbreaker's Infusion. They've replaced the grabbed impact for grab damage, which again just makes Hulk harder hitter rather than staggers more. He's actually going to damage more. Again, I think Hulk needs this kind of buff, and melee builds need these kind of buffs to be able to actually, make a difference when you're in stuff like OLTs, and I'm imagining the raid as well. So I'm excited to see stuff where it buffs Hulk if you've got the right gear, especially for his melee stuff, so we won't have to just resort to everyone using a Thor, like crazy Thor DPS build to get through the raid. I'm excited to see how this is going to change up and allow Hulk mains to really start making a difference on the battlefield as well. Lastly, on to Thor. There is one change. Basically, the overview of this is that they've removed generic perks. With Binding of the Thunderer, they've replaced the basic support heroic regen with the Odin Force amplifier. And basically what that does is increases status build up with Odin Force attacks. My build for this is actually, I basically only really use Odin Force attacks. I use the one which is, I believe, Power of Uru, where you throw the hammer and then you spam Q to get like the Odin Force lightning to come down. I'm wondering if this will also apply to that. I know that doesn't apply, like actually build up status, but I'm wondering if that might change it or it might affect it. If it doesn't, I think this will be really interesting for people who use kind of melee builds with Thor, which are quite rare, but it'll be interesting to see how much it helps them. I'll just be excited to see how this kind of changes how powerful he's going to be when doing status and battery effect attacks. So again, this one drops from the Elite Heroic Hive Gauntlet. So again, this is all, a lot of this is LAS. A lot of all of the changes have been like on LAS gear, which is possibly the longest thing and still is a single player activity. But it does show us that if we are grinding for these things, there are going to be more specific perks for the characters that we're actually playing it with, which is great. I'm hoping to see more of this in the future. I definitely want to see to be honest, I want to see all exotics have this kind of focus. Go, okay, well, this is an exotic, a named gear for this character. Let's make it very specific for this character. It seems like that's the direction we're going in, so I'm very excited of where we're going here. Again, big thank you to Crystal Dynamics for sharing this with us, because obviously I get the opportunity to share this with you guys. If you did like this, don't forget to like the video. And again, share your feedback in the comments. Do you think this is a good change? Do you think these are good changes? Do you think it's indicative of changes that we want to see in the game? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least found it informative in some way. If you did, please like, subscribe, and if you want to come and talk about this or any other Marvel game live, come check me out over on twitch.tv/BobDuckNWeave, or connect with me on socials at BobDuckNWeave. All the links in the description down below. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, consider clicking the join button and becoming a member. You'll get cool emotes to put in live chat, in comments, and also you'll get a little badge that evolves as your membership continues, which looks really cool when I stream over here on YouTube. Thanks so much again, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.